Hi, and welcome to Category Management Knowledge Group's bi-weekly Category Management Tip. If you don't know about CMKG, we provide category management training solutions that are driven from a foundation of accredited e-learning courses. I'm Sue Nichols, the president and owner of Category Management Knowledge Group. I love everything about category management, so every week I share some of my learnings on category management related topics. Today's topic is about uncovering an opportunity to increase the value of your shopper insights within your organization. In this quick video, I'm going to define shopper insights, highlight the key data sources where you can get shopper insights from, share and then bust a myth on shopper insights, and then show you an example of how different functions within an organization can benefit from shopper insight knowledge. So first, let's define shopper insights. Simply put, shopper insights are insights into the shoppers. But more importantly, you need to understand the question, what is a shopper? There's two definitions that are commonly used in the industry, so let's clarify that first. The first definition is the one where a consumer becomes a shopper upon entering the retail store. This is conducive to in-store marketing and limits the idea of shopper insights to that understanding which can only be gleaned in-store. So, based on this definition, a shopper is generated every time a customer or consumer walks through a store entrance. The second one, in my preference, is focused on consumer shopper behavior. As soon as someone decides to buy a product, they become a shopper. They could be anywhere doing anything, but at that moment, they become a shopper. Using this definition, shopper insights refers to gaining an understanding of that moment and all of the subsequent behaviors until the intent to buy no longer exists because they've either purchased or for whatever reason they've changed their mind. For the purposes of today's tip, I'm going to be focusing on the second definition of shopper. Data is obviously the root of shopper understanding. Consumer panel, retail POS, and loyalty card or transactional data are three shopper insight sources that are more transactional in nature and therefore provide different levels of syndicated data. So these may tend to be the more commonly used data sources. But there's many other shopper data sources as well. Store intercepts, in-store observations, ethnographic research, surveys, focus groups, interviews, eye tracking and neuromarketing, and emotional analysis are some of the ways to really understand the shopper, including why and how they make the decisions that they make. Even though the data itself is inherently complex, many different functions within an organization can benefit from the shopper insights. I'm here today to break the myth that shopper insights are always mystical, complex pieces of information that can only be used by shopper insight and marketing professionals. In fact, organizations who can expand their shopper insights usage beyond their shopper insights and marketing groups will benefit the most from this highly valuable data. I like to parallel my perspective to my own category management experiences. Upon its inception, the concepts and secrets of category management approach and strategies were often held as closely guarded secrets, driving competitive advantage. At manufacturers, like in my own experience, only category managers had the data, only category managers could talk to the customer about it, only the category managers could analyze and understand it. And at a retailer, only executive members held the details of the retailer's strategies, and they weren't shared broadly either internally or externally for fear of losing the competitive edge. Unfortunately, these examples aren't just from the 80s and 90s during Catman's early years, but I have examples from the most recent decade as well. Keeping category management to yourself hasn't driven the kind of business results that we've witnessed over the last few decades, so obviously some organizations are choosing to share their results. The mystique of the category management approach is largely gone, replaced by concepts that are a public domain and are widely used and accepted and even expected. Based on that, we also believe that the mystery behind shopper insights should also be unlocked and shared throughout organizations to drive truly insightful business decisions. I already mentioned that shopper insights are primarily used for shopper marketing. For manufacturers, this ties in with their overall brand strategies, and for retailers, it ties in with their in-store marketing strategies. But there are other areas within both manufacturers and retailers that can hugely benefit from these shopper insights. Channel and retailer strategies can be affected by shopper insights, With manufacturers, trade marketing can help develop better targeted programs to take to retailers. And retailers can have more succinct and focused overall retailer strategies that stem from better understanding their shopper. Salespeople can develop better sales presentations for retailers by tying in with some of the information gleaned from shopper insights. How can salespeople possibly develop solid sales plans without understanding the retailer's unique shopper who is directly affected by each of the tactics? I mentioned it before, shopper insights should have an impact on the category tactics. So category management teams for both the retailer and manufacturer need to understand and consider the shopper when completing any analytics or making any category recommendations. In net, shopper insights can provide strategic value, not just to shopper marketing, but for overall strategy development, sales presentations and opportunities, and in category management. Let's think about some standard functions that shopper insights can be applied to. I'm going to focus on the manufacturer, but there are definitely parallels at the retailer. So let's think about what these different functions do and what their goals are. Brand management refers to the activities related to increasing, maintaining, or rationalizing the value of a brand through managing both its tangible and intangible assets, building consumer loyalty. A brand's consumer shops for their products at the retailer. Hence, understanding the shopper inherently lets the brand manager be more focused on their consumer. Trade marketing is the bridge between sales and marketing. It can be called many things: market strategy, category planning. Ultimately, it's the function that takes more consumer-focused brand strategies and creates targeted messages for the retail market, and also communicates overall retail strategies back to marketing. A mediator type of role ensures that a manufacturing organization recognizes that its distribution chain is also its customer, and understands and communicates to them as it does to the end consumer. Sales. It really should need no explanation, or does it? This function is evolved from the used car salesman to the savvy solution provider. By being focused on their strategies and shopper, they can talk the same language that the retailer does. And finally, category management, where the rubber hits the road. The focus is on the tactics in store, where a brand and retailer strategies come to life. And for who? Of course, the consumer and the shopper. How do these different functions and objectives come together in shopper insights? I'm going to walk you through a simple data example and show you how. Here's a super condensed data set that pulls out just a couple of measures that provide some observations about a category's shoppers. Segments down the left include the premium segment, a manufacturer's premium brand, a competitive premium brand, and a retailer's private label brand. Performance captures growth by product group, share of requirements indicates loyalty within each product group, cross-brand interaction indicates the percentage of buyers that also purchase other brands or segments, and demographic is the profile of the consumer. The overall observations are pretty straightforward. This premium brand does not have a loyal shopper, as indicated by the 25 share of requirements. It also interacts highly with the control or private label brand, and shares consumer shopper demographics with the retailer. You can see that both of them have the similar family-focused consumer. While a real data set would be more insightful and involved, this simple example still provides us a basis of understanding for broad application. So based on this data, think about how you could apply the insights based on brand management responsibilities, trade marketing, sales, as well as category management, based on their different consumer focus areas. From those basic shopper insights that we were able to derive from that simple data set, we can create the following action plans for the different functions within the manufacturer organization. The brand team should use these insights for new product development, to determine how to differentiate their brands from the value private label brand, and to ensure that price slopes on large count packs are favorable for retailers and the large families that they're trying to focus on. Trade marketing can leverage the link between the retailer shopper and their brand consumer to develop promotional and marketing strategies that match to the retailer's biggest opportunities and focus areas. Sales can develop promotions that match well with the consumer demographics. They can also tailor new product launch presentations to align to the retailer's overall consumer. These types of approaches will result in more effective joint business planning between the manufacturer and the retailer. And category management can create tactical recommendations for the category based on these shopper insights. Imagine if one of these functions didn't understand or weren't aware of those basic shopper insights, they'll most likely make recommendations that don't match well with the consumer and shopper, and they definitely won't be consistent with the overall shopper strategies. So earlier in this video, I presented a myth that shopper insights are only applicable for shopper marketing. Hopefully you'll agree that I've busted this myth. From this small example, you can see that shopper insights can be of huge value for different functions within an organization and ultimately lead to a more strategic and aligned approach across the organization. So that's it for today's tip. We have some great courses that relate to shopper and shopper insights, including building data competency on panel data. If you want to have a better understanding of how to maximize the use of your panel data, this is a great course for that. Store clustering and store level and geodemographic data and tools, and understanding and marketing to your shopper are two other courses that you may be interested in that are related to shopper insights. If you're interested in category management training, please visit our website. We have topics that will help to fill in some of the gaps if you didn't understand all of the examples I showed you today, or you're interested in learning more about shopper insights. We also have a brand new e-learning center that we're very excited about that was just recently launched. You can check it out at www.cmkgelearningcenter.com. Finally, we're very active in LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter, so please connect with us. Thanks for viewing today's tip. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day.